Wild snap, Wharton fell. Here's another shot, right by the score! Henderson has scored for Canada!
In 1972, Canada was still riding a tide of nationalism, fueled by the country's centennial birthday, Expo 67, a new national flag, and its renewed obsession with Canadian identity. Although there were conflicts and tense relationships within its borders, on the world stage, Canada was eager to show a united front. That opportunity came with the Summit Series. Since the 1950s, international rules prohibited Canadian professional hockey players from competing in the Winter Olympics. So the Canadian amateur hockey players often lost at the international level. But 1972 was the first time the NHL's top players could represent Canada in the Olympics. Canada wanted to develop nationalism and a clear national identity. Also, in 1972, Canada was still in the midst of the Cold War. Canadians feared Communist Russia. Canada wanted to stay democratic. So, when the Olympics finally came down to Canada and Russia, it was like the Summit Series represented democracy versus communism. Canada versus Russia. Although Canada was down 3-1 in the series, they were able to tie the series 3-3. The series came down to the final game. Game 8.
Game 7 is out and out combat. When the smoke clears, Canada holds the field and the series is tied. Now it all comes down to one final game.
Canada's Olympic hockey team was inspiring newfound waves of nationalism across Canada.
Televisions are wheeled into classrooms. Businesses shut for the day. Virtually all of Canada comes to a standstill, united by a mixture of hope and dread.
Canadians across the nation united to cheer Team Canada as the final game of the series went into overtime. Overtime set up one of the most defining moments in Canadian history. Paul Henderson's overtime goal changed the nation.
And it's one of those moments that if you were alive and sentient and over the age of 5, you know where you were when it happened.
Canada's victory at the Summit Series was historically significant. Historically, other countries did not take Canada seriously or devalued Canada's role in the world. But the victory showed Canada was a global force with a reputation for hockey supremacy. The victory created Canadian nationalism, uniting Canadians across the country, and giving Canadians a sense of pride. The victory helped Canadians feel democracy was superior, and created a Canadian culture defined by hockey.
I felt I wasn't Canadian. It's the same thing when the war was over, eh?
God is Canadian!
I think the 72 series defines hockey ultimately as Canada's sport. It's the one that defines us internationally. And we saw what happened in 72 when our national pride was on the line, when it looked like we were going to lose, and we understood what it meant to us. And I think that was really an important thing politically, and I think it was an important thing nationally. And it was an important thing for hockey because it changed the way hockey was played on the ice as well.
Hockey became a large part of the Canadian national identity.
Talk about it today than even probably back then. Had they won back, if it had been today, they probably would have had a parade for them. They probably would have shut down the country for them. And we didn't know how to do all those things. We didn't even know how to celebrate because, you know, it was the first time we had gone through something like this. We just knew we were proud.
I am so proud to be a Canadian. Our character, our will, and our refusal to surrender is something I will remember for the rest of my life. This is our legacy.
Hockey continues to inspire nationalism, create unity, and remains a large part of the Canadian identity even today.
And they stay there.